Who needs a car to go on a date when you have your running soulmate?
One of them is really fast, one of them is really slow.
It's the Running Podcast Show.
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Soulmates Run Pod with Ryan Miller and Alex Carlisle. How are you, Alex?
I am great, thank you very much.
Looking splendid with your new microphone.
Why, thanks.
Let's get that out of the way straight away. Why have we got these?
Because the sound quality was terrible in the last episode because of the editing.
The sound quality was not terrible in the last episode because it was fixed in the editing. But why was the sound quality terrible?
Because you bought bad mics.
Because you've got ADHD.
I've actually
And you were
not.
swinging that medal about the bit.
To be honest, we shouldn't have attached our microphones to an appendage.
Sounds wrong. Mine was fine. Anyway, we've got new microphones. We're going to get Soulmates Run Pod stickers for here. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be pure professional.
We are.
This is the most professional thing I think I've ever done. And look.
That's pretty cool.
We even changed up our background so that we look actually like a podcast.
That's pretty cool.
So we did say at the start of this, week by week, we're going to keep trying things, find a rhythm with this, find out what kind of direction it's going to go in. And I think it's getting there. Week by
Yeah.
week, it's starting to feel a wee bit more dialed in.
We've got this amazing background, but our phones for the reel is still balancing on 2 biscuit
Yeah.
tins and
We're 2 tripods away from being semi-professional.
yeah, I think so.
But
I may just order them on Amazon.
But what the people can't see is we've got 2 tubs of sweets and an empty bucket
And
and a whey protein
Yeah.
holding up 2 phones. So anyway, there we are. Episode 3. We've
Yeah.
made it this far. The cynics said we'd never get here, but here we are.
Yeah.
And we were thinking when we were filming this one, or sitting down to record, what we're going to talk about. Because I've barely run.
Yeah, you've not run. You actually had to squeeze in 2 runs because we were going to film this at the weekend and I said, no, I can't because I've not run
I hadn't
once.
even I hadn't run at all since filming the last one. I got a bit of sinusitis and knocked me on my bum for a week. I never ran at all. I barely made it outside.
Yeah,
so-
you weren't well, to be fair.
We've had 2 runs. Well, I've had 2 runs since we ran with the club last night. Our first club run of the year in daylight, which was
Yeah.
a joy to behold. Not running around it's already hilly, but hilly and dark makes it extra miserable. So that was
Yeah.
nice to be doing that one. And we ran to a nice coffee shop as well. We ran to Vinny Cafe in Kilmarnock.
Yeah, it was really
How
nice.
good was that?
So good. We had mini blueberry pancakes. Unreal. I'm currently on 2 weeks off from placement. Have a placement sandwich, so I have 2 weeks off. So you've
Yep.
taken some time off
Yeah,
as well.
and I took a wee huff at work and just put time in. So huffing is the name of the game for me at the moment.
And now we get to go to coffee shops
Yep.
and eat pancakes.
But it was nice because it was like really blowing a hoolie. We were running into a
Really blowing
headwind.
a hoolie.
I know.
Can I make a PSA?
You can.
Never run with me, right? Never run with me.
I'm trying.
Never book a race I have booked.
Oh, I'm definitely trying that.
Because whenever I try to do a session or push any effort, the wind decides to try and stop me. It blows against my face. And I know I'm being dramatic here, right? But didn't we change every direction under the sun and that wind was following us? Like it was taking the pure piss out of me.
We ran from like Broomhouse, so just Uddingston practically, to Kilmarnock in at Celtic Park, and
Yeah.
the Vinny-Teens just in behind like the Emirates, and they've got one in Rutherglen. The food is just so good and it was lovely. But we're running in one direction up towards London Road, then you take it like a right turn, and it was the headwind was worse than the headwind before, and we turned right again and it was worse again. We just couldn't get out the wind, but it was motivating to know that you were going for, well, we hoped for a nice coffee, but it was really nice.
Yeah,
We definitely would do it again.
Don't try and run with me because it seems that I've just got terrible luck with the wind.
I don't know, we didn't run together last night with Newton, but even there the headwind was strong. So
Oh yeah.
I mean, you kind of feeling for. I've got that wee bit of envy right now, looking at all the the people getting close to London and Manchester coming up, and I know they're not the only two, but that's the two that we know most of the people going for, and you're seeing them out doing these kind of 32, 34Ks at the moment. I've got the bit of envy of, they're going to just have such a good experience coming up, but I've had no envy watching them training in that kind of weather. That wind, the rain, it's just really tough going.
It was. I done 20k at the weekend there and did really struggle with the wind. I think my Strava title of my run was "What in the frickin' hurricane was that?" Because it was just relentless.
It was. And you've kind of not really, I know you were working again when we got back, but you've just kept your block going, and you're back into those long ones. So Alex has signed up for the Glasgow Running Festival half marathon, which is an up and running event. Glasgow Green on the weekend of the 18th.
Yeah.
And I think I am just about ready to hit go on doing the 10k that day.
Yeah.
Because I've got a 9k progressive session to do at really quick speed. So I may as well crack on, grab a medal, and I'll be there to cheer you on anyway. So,
and we can support a good event. I think what they're doing is great. So it's good to buy a ticket as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You were going to be doing it anyway, the distance, so you may as well.
Yeah, and I'll be in there anyway. So it's instead of trying to figure out how I squeeze a run in around doing that, I think I'm going to do both. And I saw Alan. He's signed up for the 10k as well, so it'll be a familiar face there. But you're right, we'll support them. And speaking of that, we got in touch with Sammy. I said we were going in the last episode, and Sammy got back to us just a couple of days ago and is more than happy to come on. So in an upcoming episode, if not the next one, almost definitely the one after that.
Yeah. And if you didn't listen to the episode before this, Sammy
is
organises all the
he is
runs.
the founder of Up and Running Events, and he's going to come on to speak specifically about the expo. So that's exciting. That'll be the first person that we've had on.
Sammy is our first guest.
And they're doing loads and loads and loads. So that weekend of the Glasgow Running Festival, Alex is doing the half marathon. I think I'm going to do the 10. I know there's a 5k on. There's a toddler dash.
There's a dog run.
A dog run, which I'm really desperate to do, but that's the next day.
I'm just not so keen on doing the dog run, but I might just lie on the ground.
Just to go and see all the dogs.
Yeah.
No, I'm Kylo and I, but I did see they were saying on it basically, it's a time to go and have fun. Me and Kylo would be out for the win on that, I think.
No, it's not about that.
I know, that's why I probably wouldn't sign up. But there's also a colour run.
Yeah, have you done one of those before?
I've not, but
They're
I've
really
seen them.
fun.
There's been one in Cambuslang the last couple of years, and it actually sells out really, really quickly. But powder sort of paint type thing.
It's great. I've done a Dulux run before, and it's just a fun run. It's great fun. So I was thinking about asking some of the girls to come through and do that, because it's 5k fun.
There's also a night run, which is like lit up music, glow sticks.
I feel like I would like to do it all.
GBX. I know, we used to about 5 races in one weekend.
I know.
You really cope well after races as well. That would go really well with your health.
I would. I can really do more than one.
I'll be there with a defib and an ambulance ready for you. The St John's ambulance crew.
And a bedpan.
No, we're not allowed. Jim Boyle got in touch to say less of the shit talk, and it was aimed at you.
Okay. For anyone who doesn't know, Jim Boyle is one of our running friends.
Everybody knows Jim Boyle. Everybody. He's like the Elton John of the running scene.
Right. I don't think he'll appreciate being called the Elton John of the running scene.
Well, I don't think he'll mind, actually. He'll take it as a compliment.
Anyway, why? Yeah, so too much poo talk for him.
Too much poo talk for Jim, which I find strange because he's a man that's told me many a poo story.
Maybe it's maybe me as a female should stop talking about poops.
No. Equal rights in here.
Right.
Well, shit. Well run.
I think, see, when you're holding one of these mics, you can talk about just about anything.
Exactly. The camera's pointing at you. That means you get to talk about what you like. Why do you keep looking at me? Look at them.
Because I'm talking to you. I might get a wee jobby emoji on my mic.
We should get the So Much Run Pod stickers made for this.
No, I think we could be more creative than that. Let us know if you've got any ideas of what we could have on each other's mics.
Oh, I dread to
Maybe
think.
we could, for next podcast, we could have a mission we could take each other's mic away and we could come back with it decorated and we can present it at the next pod.
I am 100% not going to do that.
Let's do that.
And neither are you. You're the most disorganised person. We will be back here and
Shut your mouth.
You will be up there trying to write what we're going to talk about 3 minutes before.
No, I think that's a great idea.
Smashing idea.
Comment if you think that's a good idea. I think that would make for some
Like and
great-
comment if that's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
So we've got the up and running. We know what we're doing with that weekend. I've got a couple of things signed up for and I've already spoken about. Runatoon and the Brian Goodwin. Don't know which one I'm going to race. I think I'm leaning more towards the Brian Goodwin, which is the later one because I missed that week.
And it's flatter.
And it's flatter. And Runatoon's a great day out, jolly. Everybody goes for the Empire Biscuit really at the end. So I think that'll probably be it. But I don't really know what your plan is. I don't know if you know what your plan is after up and running. Have you thought about it?
No.
Sorry, Solid.
Do you know what? I'm quite chillaxed. I am quite chillaxed with my running. I don't really have many more plans other than what's right in front of me. I'm not a future planner. I know what's coming in the next few weeks and then I'll see how I feel. And then after that, I will see what I feel like. A marathon's not off the cards for me in the autumn.
You did say this. You said
Yeah.
this from early in the year.
I would love to do Berlin in a charity place. It's not off the cards.
How would that work with placements and stuff?
It would be fine. I would just take the first week off uni again. Hope my lecturers aren't listening. Shit.
What? I think one of them does.
Yeah, I think one of them.
Cut. Go again. Yeah, I'm definitely not got a marathon in the cards for this year, but I think I'm going to do the Scottish half marathon, which
The one in October.
yeah, the Great Scottish
I don't
Run,
know why you're going to do this.
because it's part of the club, the Newton Roadrunners Club Championship. This is the first year they've ever had a club
Yeah.
championship, and that's one of the qualifying races. And I believe the Brian Goodwin is another. And there's a park run, and like a designated park run will be one.
Yeah.
So you have to compete in a certain number of them, and so it aligns with. Well, I want an autumn half goal.
It's just not the best course for any sort of goal.
I've not done it for a long time.
I know, and you don't believe me about how bad it is.
No, I've
Park
done.
It's like the
Yeah,
Himalayas.
that's the bit. That is the bit that's out of my mind because obviously I've done the St Vincent Street as part of the 10K.
And that's not bad. That's easy.
umpteen
That bit.
times, because it's traditionally been at the start. It's just a howler of a way to get going because you're by the time you hit the end of 1K. But yeah, I've not signed up for it yet, but I think that'll be on the cards and maybe potentially another one because I think I could get away with 2 half maras as long as they're not too close together.
Well, obviously, we've done Blast Sunset Running Festival
Yeah.
for the last 2 years. But again, do not race with me because how windy has it been for the last two years?
With some of the
Ridiculous.
weather we've had at that event has been wild. 4 seasons in one day, headwind, then you turn and you run actually back in yourself, and we ran back into headwind.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great run. I love the atmosphere.
Yeah,
I love seeing
It's good.
people over and over again.
that is a good one.
I feel like the consensus is that we're kind of, our plans are a little bit up in the air.
But it's
But
nice.
I think that's a good thing.
No, it is.
I
It's-
really do think that's a good thing.
And people that are new to this podcast and haven't listened to our previous podcasts probably won't have an appreciation of that. Is that we've been pretty locked in for 2 years, rolling from one big Mara plan to the next to blocks. And I know you've not made it to all the races, but you did that same spread of block.
Yeah.
So everything's been. There's been a lot of things we couldn't do because I've got this instead. So just jumping into these races has not been possible. So we do have that ability now to just do what we want. And there was one thing I did say to you that I want to do coming up soon, is I want to have a crack at my 1K PB,
Oh, yeah.
and we want to have a wee stab at videoing that as a
challenge.
a little challenge, a long form on YouTube, but clipped down, not like forever. I've got no idea where I would be for 1K, and my only frame of reference is my Strava best efforts, which is 3:18, and right now I don't think I could get near that, but I want to do it really soon, benchmark it.
Hey, I'm not that much slower than you over 1K.
You sit on a throne of
Put them
lies.
wherever your mouth is. You're going to come and run too?
Well, I know that I think I'm a 3:45 or 3:42 maybe. And
Do you think you'd be there just now?
I think I'd be closer to mine and you'd be closer to yours.
Oh, I won't be near 3:18. I think I'll be nearer, somewhere near a 3:30, maybe low 3:20s if I really.
I don't know. I've not done that in a long time.
But
we
yeah.
should go and do
So
it.
I want to go do it, and I want to benchmark it now and revisit it at the end of the 10k block.
Mm-hmm.
At which point it should be
a lot better.
a good barometer of where we're at, and open it out to anybody that wants to come. I think we'll maybe stick it up in advance because we've got this wee spell of time off,
Yeah.
and maybe go to the track on a Wednesday night or
Like
something.
next week or something.
Yeah, next week, maybe next midweek, we'll put something out there, say we're going to go this night. If anybody wants to come along, they can. If not, fine, we're going to video
We're
it
gonna do
anyway.
it anyway.
Yep.
That'd be fun. And I think some other people might be interested just to see what theirs is as well. Their time. And
Most people I know their 1k PB has come off the back of a good race or in a like 6 times 1k session, and they've never actually
just went flat out.
done a warm up and just went flat out balls to the wall for a kilometre to see
Yeah.
what it looks like.
That
So
might be quite fun
yeah,
actually.
interested to see where that comes out at just now, and this is part of the quest for me to get really uncomfortable again and back to those kind of paces that make you want to be sick.
And we also want to do a few different challenges and put them on YouTube. So if anyone does have any ideas of what we can do, I think you're going to try and pace me to a 5k PB,
Yep.
which can only be comedy gold.
Or will lead to the end of the relationship and the podcast. Depends how you
To
respond.
be honest, I feel like I'll just be a mute. So
You normally are.
It depends how you go.
We
in
ran
time.
that 9k run into Vin 18. I think you spoke about 4 words.
I know, but it was a tough session for me.
Tough session for me. I'm not listening to you breathing.
Again, I'm actually running really well right now, and I wasn't breathing that hard. Couldn't hear anything from all the shite you talk anyway. Anyway, so yeah, if you do have any ideas of challenges,
Yep.
I would I'd like to hear them. They can be Ryan focused or me focused. They don't have to be.
Or both.
They don't have to be both at the same
No,
time.
yeah, we don't have to do everything, but something we could both have a crack at. And I'm not doing anything long, so
You could.
Nothing
I've got a
marathon.
good idea. You could have a crack at like not being a wee prick for like 10 minutes or something.
I will try my best, but you can only work with the material we've got, and my PB for being a wee prick is about 3 minutes between, so that might be a stretch, but thanks for asking. Let's top and tail the up and running, because that's the next thing in the horizon, and you are going to race. I know what I'll be doing that day because on the 10k I've got the session. What's the plan? What are you going to do anything different from what you did at Hampton? Are you just going to play it by ear?
Do you know what? Probably not. I'm probably not going to do anything different. I am going to be doing a couple of little more. I know it's like only a few weeks away, but just I'm going to get myself to the gym a couple of times and just stretch off and kind of just try and prepare my body a little bit more for it. Do some mobility stuff. Do a few little plyometric sessions and just in the house and things. And that's not going to make much difference to that, but I just know, I know what I need to do in the future. I always say at the start of a block, I'm going to get to the gym, because I do let myself down, because I get to the end of near the end of a half marathon and I actually feel fine in my lungs. My heart rate's fine the whole time. It's my legs that kind of give way at about 16k, so that's going to be that'll be always my downfall unless I do go to the gym, but...
Did you get anywhere on did them to come back to you on that post-race crash? Because
yeah, so many people.
we spoke about it on the episode. If you've not heard episode 2, after Hampton Palace half marathon, Alex had another one of her been overtaken.
We like to call it a body crash.
Yeah, body crash. Alex had one of our body crashes where half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour after the race, just downhill, sickness,
Yeah.
on the toilet, can't really function. And you put it out there. Did you put it out in your stories as well?
No.
Or was it just via the podcast
It was just
feedback?
via the
So
via the
what
pod,
are
yeah.
you hearing back? Because I've actually heard from a couple of people as well.
Similar symptoms. I don't think anything exactly the same as me, because from the majority of people they say like, oh, but that was they say, oh, granted, I did feel sick during the race, or granted, I did try a new gel, and a lot was like that. A couple though that said, I get that sometimes, and can't like participate in like going to see, like hanging out with your friends after it and stuff because I'm on the toilet. And I mean, I'm never going to say who's sent this kind of confidential stuff in. So yeah, a couple of people quite similar to me. So it is just interesting that I'm not the only one who sometimes thinks, oh, I wonder if I actually should make plans because I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, I had somebody on TikTok, which I don't even really use for posting a lot, but I posted the trailer and posted a clip from the show on it, and I had somebody there coming back to me and said they get it really bad. Their immune system just takes, over distance, takes a beating, and they really, really struggle. So yeah, maybe more common than we know. I don't know. I've not really been around too many people that have suffered with it as badly as what I've seen with you. But we'll be making sure on the day after this one that we have banana ready, something to eat, and you'll just have to really focus on the fueling bit straight after, and hopefully, because it takes away something for the experience.
Does, even if you have a good race.
It doesn't matter because it's the bit you're going to keep remembering afterwards. So we need to hopefully get it cracked. And after that, sorry, do you want to...
No, I was just going to say, like, more run tactics wise in the half, I was beginning to wonder if the 10K was going to be like going at the same time, or you know how that sometimes happens in the winter warm, or the 10K goes as well. I just feel like I want to cling to someone who is running that pace, especially near the end parts. I think that for me would be a good incentive, just to keep the legs ticking over, and just really pushing until the legs can't carry me anymore, because I feel nice and strong and paced throughout the first kind of half. Obviously, that's the easy part, isn't it? But yeah, going into the race I was about to say very confident, and then I took it back, but I actually do feel very confident that I can run a good race if conditions are fine.
Yeah.
Then I don't get my hopes up either that conditions could be like it has been the last few days, and then
that wind,
it's just difficult.
Those strong winds to run in it's so hard, and that's you're praying for that for everybody that's racing in big goals, and like even more so than what we are doing. I think when I see people going to marathons and they've done the work, and you're just hoping on the day
that they get it's even when it gets too hot,
you just get a fair crack of the whip, and it's not taken away. It's not taken away by an element outside your control. Berlin heat. If you get that kind of headwind the whole way, it doesn't matter how hard you've trained. You just cannot have your best day and against those types of elements.
So if anyone is going to the Glasgow Running Festival in a couple of weeks' time, we want to know who's going. Even more so, if anyone's doing a half marathon and is running a 5-minute pace, I would love to know, because you might have a friend.
Do they have pacers?
I don't know actually.
When are you going to try and do your 5K PB?
Not before the half. I'll end up breaking an ankle or something.
Do you know what might work well? Actually getting the half done, getting a wee bit of rest, and then doing the next pacer week at Strathclyde Park.
Yeah.
Which would be 2 weeks.
1st of May. Well, like the start of May.
The first weekend in May.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that takes us to that weekend up and running. We know what we're doing with that. I did see today, did you see their post today? April Fools. Did you see all the shit April Fools posts? Theirs was actually quite a decent one because so many people shared it.
Yeah.
And it was a Glasgow marathon. And what was clear from that is that there was a big appetite because some people were genuinely buzzing about the prospect of Glasgow having a marathon. I believe the last one was in the 80s. And we used to...
Did you run it?
I think I was in the 20-25 category at that point. We had a guy who used to come to Press Play and Run, whose name is now escaped me, to the run club. And he had been trying to get the Glasgow Marathon back off the ground for years and years, but with the council and like a proper closed road. And I think had potentially looked at park-based, which
that'd be pish.
Yeah, I mean, imagine doing like loops of Glasgow Green.
75 laps of the Glasgow Green.
No, that's not the one. But a closed road marathon in Glasgow, I would be all over that. That would be cool to have that on our
Past
doorstep.
all the painted like Billy
Yep.
Connolly
Yep.
and
So what I did see from that today, and this was one of our, we'll come to our questions and confessions. Do you want to go for it?
confessions and questions.
Closing your eyes and trying this week. It's just going to keep
Honestly,
getting better.
see, I'm born to hold a mic.
You're born to talk shit. That's what you are. I honestly think with the way that they are bringing different events to different places, they might have a sporting chance of logistically being able to put it together. The only thing I think will potentially kill it will be the cost of closing the roads. Because
But Scottish people are hard. We just run into the traffic.
But no, I don't think you can have a marathon into the traffic. I mean, God knows where the route would be, but
It would be in all different
But
parts.
the half marathon, obviously the Great Scottish Run has got a long established.
So, I mean, I'm actually just thinking about it now. Do you know in Chicago when you go through like the Italian town, the Mexican town, Chinatown, can you imagine it in Glasgow?
The Gorbals.
Yeah, that says
Govan.
the Gorbals.
The Gorbals, Govan.
Yeah. But then we could go West End. Would it go that far?
Well, you'd see all the snobs sitting eating their pastries.
Yeah, we could have all different kinds of places.
And see where you get clapped, like in the Gorbals, you get clapped and maybe the odd stone thrown at you. When you get into the West End, you just hear loads of tutting. Look at them. Shutting the roads. Just hundreds of tutting. That's it. The West End is just one big tut.
Yeah, you could get like in the Italian, in the Mexican part of the Chicago Marathon, people hand out tequila shots.
Yeah,
What would we
exactly.
get in Glasgow?
Mad Dog.
Or like
Bucky.
a wee half bottle of Bucky.
Uh-huh.
I'm a
Bucky shot.
lightweight and I'm no tripping.
And you could run down the Clyde and see all the shopping trolleys and,
And the
jobbies floating.
jobbies, yeah.
So there's so
I think-
much to see.
Yeah, I think it would be great, honestly.
This has got potential. Lads, you need to get this done. We're all over this.
Yeah.
I'd love to have it. But what I'm thinking is they're bringing an expo. It's almost like in
I know. Do you
in
know
reverse.
what?
You're already
I'm
bringing an
absolutely
expo.
obsessed with what they're doing.
So if you
We
bring,
needed this.
if they can bring that,
Mm-hmm.
that would align perfectly. And if the Great Scottish Run can close the roads for the half mara, why could it not happen on the same weekend?
Yeah, and if Edinburgh Marathon Festival can do it, then so can anyone.
Oh well.
Cut that out. Cut
No.
that out.
But
No,
let's
seriously,
model
cut
it.
that out.
Let's model it on the Edinburgh Marathon, and we can finish it somewhere like Inverness and just tell folk to walk back at the end.
No, let's not say that.
We'll leave
'cause
your
we
back.
we slag them off too much.
Your bags will be sitting out in the pissing rain in Glasgow Green waiting on you. You'll be fine. You'll be all right.
No, let's not say any of that. That's too
No,
far.
that's getting left in.
No, it's
Shambles. If you're doing the Edinburgh Marathon this year, I hope you really enjoy it.
I will do that half marathon again. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it apart from the end of it. And let's not talk about it again. Because listen, you're going to get cancelled.
By whom?
People have picked up on your hatred towards the Edinburgh Marathon Festival.
We did get a message about it.
We did, and I'm not talking about it anymore.
Well, maybe they should up their game then.
Maybe you should just pipe down.
No. Bag drop.
Anyway, Ryan and I are completely up for a Glasgow
The bag
Marathon.
drop's a
I would
Tesco
be-
carrier bag.
Right,
Right,
stop.
that was the last one.
We're completely up for a Glasgow Marathon. I would be the first person to sign up.
Yeah, let's when we get Sammy on, let's really put him under pressure to make that happen.
Yeah, I'm going to say, so Sammy,
But
what about the marathon? What about the
I wonder what the
marathon?
cost of the. I bet you it's the cost of the roads getting closed. It's the
But we could all chip
Major
in a
barrier.
fiver.
a fiver.
I'll tell Sammy that.
You say what on top of your marathon fee?
Yeah, I would. Guys, if everyone would chip in an extra fiver, I think everyone would do that to get it up and running.
Oh my fucking god! I've actually already paid for it with the Glasgow Council and council tax increase. It's fine. I've paid for the roads to get shut.
Right.
We're good.
Okay.
We could fill the potholes in the way around. Let's get let's get it done. Imagine like how fast you'd run knowing that there's always a threat of knife crime just like
Ryan.
lurking just on the pavement beside you.
We have ran in America.
I know, but you're getting chased by a zombie.
Yeah.
Somebody try to spit at you.
Yeah, that's
Remember that? Anybody that's ever gone to like the Chicago Marathon loved it. We've loved it twice. We've just fallen in love with the city completely.
But it is like you're in a zombie
But
apocalypse.
oh my god, we stayed central the second time around, and there was a guy, I don't know whatever the
Fentanyl.
whatever whatever the American equivalent of spice is. There's guys just stoating about and somebody spat at a lady, remember? You were pure fear.
Jobbing in the street.
Oh, you have to stop it.
Zombies
true.
like that. It's really, really sad, actually. We shouldn't be making fun of it, but
No,
it's
but there was
sad, but it's also scary. Like, see, if I was there by myself, I wouldn't leave the hotel room. I'm not being funny. You couldn't leave the hotel room.
There was a flibber bed outside the hotel and the lady just dropped her kicks and dropped one right in it.
Yeah, it was quite mad. But I mean, yeah, if you need any tips on where to stay in Chicago, if you're doing the Chicago Marathon, hit us up.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move it on. So, feedback from the first 2 episodes, we've had some really, really nice feedback. Some, like, anecdotally speaking to people that have listened. We appreciate anybody that's taken the time to share. Pop over to the YouTube. If you're on Spotify, obviously you can see these on video now. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Amazon, you'll have the option only of the audio. But we have started the YouTube channel and every episode is going live there and you can see it. Anything that you can do in terms of popping over there, dropping us a follow if you've got a YouTube account, sharing the podcast, it all helps. It definitely, we're still at the very early stage, although we've done these before, of we still need to work hard to push this out there and hopefully establish ourselves in amongst. It's quite a busy scene. It's an even busier scene than when I think I first started, and probably you too. It's just that we don't know as many folk doing it at the moment as maybe were doing it previously. So yeah, appreciate all the shares. If you've got the chance, pause it just now, follow us, share us, like us, rate us wherever you're at. Even, be honest, rate Alex 1 star, give me 5, do what you need to do. Okay, so let's move on. I want to revisit our questions and confessions. So with another couple coming in this week, we had loads last week, the first time I put it out, so we held a couple back. I want to start this week with a confession. Do you want to do the wee sing a bit, or will we just leave that and crack right in?
Let's just people are sick of me by now.
I'm sick of you. Somebody confessed this week that they only wash their running gear every 2 to 4 runs.
No, they don't.
So I promise you. Now,
No, they don't.
See this one? This was not anonymous, but I'm still not sharing who it was. I need this person to know I'm going to talk directly to you. I'm judging you for this. And you're lucky I'm keeping your identity hidden.
That person stinks.
Every 2 to 4 runs.
That person stinks.
We ran with the club last night and your
you could smell
BO
them.
was so bad. No, they're not from the club.
But this isn't me who wrote this.
No, but I'm
so
just
why are you coming
imagining,
for
because
me?
I'm just trying to put this into my life. If you didn't wash your clothes for 4 runs in a row, the paint would be getting stripped off the walls.
Again, Ryan, you have a really good trick of always bringing it back to me. This isn't about me. I wash my clothes plenty, thank you very much.
You wash them every 3 runs. You're much better than that person.
I can't believe that,
Every 2 to 4 runs. Come on.
It's funny that it's 2 to 4. Like, it's really quite calculated. What is 2 minimum? Like, I'm not washing it, but after 1.
Do you know what that means they're
2
doing?
minimum, that was a really sweaty
So
one.
what are they doing after 2?
Smelling it.
Sniff test.
Listen, I have done the sniff test. See if I went out for an easy 5k and my shorts or something, or my sports bra maybe, I'll give it a wee sniff. I was like, give it a sniff and then I'll put it back on. But I mean, 2 times would be my absolute limit, and it would have to have been something I wasn't really I'm not a very overly sweaty person anyway, but no excuse. But that's absolutely bogging. And I'm guessing 4 runs, that's not 4 runs in a row. That's sweaty, let it dry, fusty, rank ooh.
Yep.
That has to be a man. It has to be a male.
I'm sick, fed up, sniffing your running shorts.
It has to be a male. Wink if it's a male.
It's
a female. No, it's not.
It's a female.
It's not a female.
It is a female.
Swear on your boy's life.
Swear on the boy's life, it's a female.
You dirty dogs. You're letting us down. You're letting us down.
Mad respect for it, but geez Louise, bit of judgment
It
in
was
there.
Louise.
No, it's not Louise. Not Nana Louise.
Louise!
Nana Louise smells of flowers and coconuts.
Yeah, she does, to be fair.
And brilliance.
And PBs.
And
You just
PBs.
smell the PBs coming off of her.
Aye, I know.
Right, okay. So that's disgusting.
So that was another running confession.
Right.
That, which, to be fair, I respect the person not only sending it, but not anonymising that one.
That's actually can't stop thinking about it.
Okay, right, let's
I'm going to, oh, by the way,
I'll need to cut some of the abuse and judgment out here, because
I
the
am
person
going
listens.
on to, I can see these, so I will be
Oh,
going to check who that is.
Do you know what? You can see that one.
I know.
It's on the,
I know.
That's on
I
the
will be
Soulmates
going to
page.
see who you are, Stinky.
She doesn't mean it. She means it.
I mean, I think if they're sharing it, they're opening themselves up to be called Stinky at least once or twice.
That's funny. It's funny. It's a great confession for us. I appreciate them sending it
Yeah,
in.
me too.
We also had a couple of questions that come in today. So one of them was, we've already spoken about, did you see the up and running Glasgow marathon, April Fools? What's your thoughts on a Glasgow marathon? So we've covered that one. And we got another one in from Callum Poland of Running Club fame. Callum sent us some lovely feedback about episode 2 and asked us, having both had run clubs of our own individually, would we consider doing one together? So I'm going to chuck that to you first.
And what did you say earlier when you told me about this question?
Absolutely fucking not.
Do you want to tell people for why?
For sheer logistical, selfish purposes, it's so much work. It's so much work and it takes so much time. And I know Callum had a great club going as well, and the guys have stepped back, and I think obviously Junk Miles have picked up with some of the people that were involved with the running club through there in like Bathgate area, Lothian. But it's really, really difficult. It's really difficult from I wanted to throw this to you first before I weighed in, but
Oh, sure. Give me the tricky questions.
it's really difficult from a logistical point of view, trying to meet the needs of everybody. If I've got a run club, I want it to be inclusive. The run club was inclusive, but that takes having multiple people at multiple pace groups, reliability, you're there all the time, planning the routes, making sure it's a way that, for me, people can start and finish roughly at the same time so that they can do the coffee bit after. I think that's just such a crucial part of it. So I think I would struggle if I couldn't get it to that standard again to launch in, and I know how much work that takes, and I know I don't have the time. Your thoughts?
I think if I was to ever, we were to ever start it again, I would be doing it on a kind of term timetable, kind of like what you do when you're at uni, I guess. And I think starting a run club is quite a huge commitment. And I think if we were to say, we're starting a run club, we're going to do an 8-week block, we're going to do one every Sunday from this time to this time. Having the locations, having those people kind of put in place, like you say, people to kind of support runners at different pace groups and things. I think because you and I work a little bit differently, I'm more chillaxed. I look at it differently because I am a person who at one point would have finished more towards the back of a run club. I'm really not arsed about the people who have finished 45 minutes before me and they've had to boost. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I genuinely am not. And I used to come to press play and run from Dumfries and not know where I was going.
Yeah.
So as long as I had it on my watch, or as long as I knew where I was going, I wasn't scared. I wasn't bothered about the people up the front, anything like that, because I'm coming to do it for a reason. I would either be doing it by myself anyway, do you know?
Yep.
So I think there are different perspectives on it, but I do understand it from your run club was a lot bigger than mine, for you thinking about
but you're
other
also
people.
quick. You are also quick relatively.
Yeah, maybe now, but I'm not at the start. I wasn't.
Even then, even when you were there, I'm not thinking about really particularly. You are where the bulk of runners that came to Run Club were.
Yeah.
Those people you're talking about that run.
Yeah, well,
that and need to
take my
boost.
friend Rachel, for example, because she would have been finishing at the end.
Yeah.
But she never once bothered either. She also came from Dumfries. You know, I think if you go to this run club as a solo runner, maybe that's a little bit different, but in the majority of cases you maybe come with someone, or you've started to meet people who you know. And I think it's always going to be the case that with running, it's so different because everyone's pace varies so
Yeah.
ever so slightly, and whether people are trying to do a tempo run and people are trying to do different distances, I don't think anyone would ever expect someone who was setting up a group to have that absolutely nailed, because I don't think that's possible.
No, I don't know. I had that expectation from people when we had the run club. I had a couple of people, it didn't happen often. And out of a lot of runs, very, very few times did this happen. But I did have a couple of people chin me about being left behind and not knowing the route. And that was despite every run starting with a warning of make sure the route's in your watch, make sure you know where we're going.
Yeah.
You know, we're not like, we've got these loose pace groups, but I mean, a pace group's as good as people sticking to it. And inevitably in a run club, every time somebody said they were going to do 6 minutes a K, that
It's a
became
bit faster, or-
5:30, 7 became 6:30, and so on. So you can't get it right all the time, but
And also, Ryan, you had sometimes 90 plus runners every week, different kind of a lot of people, and there's always going to be a couple of people who are not happy with
Yeah.
a free service, which is just made for people to have to build a community and all for the right reasons. There's no profit to be gained here apart from friends and
no, that was it. There was nothing. It was just that organic thing, and in some ways it was easier on those big weeks because there were so many people that the chances of you finding somebody else running at your pace were higher. It was on the weeks when there were, say, even 40, because you've got the big clump in the middle, you've got the 4 or 5 at the front, you've got, and it's then it gets tricky. The groups of 1s and 2s gets tricky because somebody feels like they're. But either way, that's my experience of it. I loved it, loved doing it, but I had the time to commit to it at that point in a way that I don't now, or certainly not every week. So again, that would be something that only every other week, just with having the boys, the way I get them and stuff like that. But what doesn't work for me is I see Aroma Run Club in Wishaw have started up, and that's got Alan and John, guys we know from Parkrun, and they run at the pace of the slowest runner every week. It's a social run, it's 5K, it's on a Sunday, but that's brilliant for people to give their time up for that, but that run's not doing me any benefit. And when I'm already working to squeeze runs in, as I am 5 runs a week, you know, I'm already fitting around training, drop-offs, pickups, like when can I get that in? I don't have the luxury anymore of just being able to go and do a run at a pace and you don't even know what the pace is till you turn up. Does that make sense? So I think there's a bit of me just for where I am right now with my training and life at the moment where loved it, but I know I respect what's involved too much to now to launch into it. I would love to do some one-off stuff. And a couple of times what we've done is recently is I'm going to go for a long run, I'm going to do this, that's my pace. MD wants to join, if there's enough of you, we'll do it. Very informal groups and with 6 or 7 doing a long run together, because I think that pushes you so much, like running in that group, that stops you stopping.
Oh yeah.
That stops 20 miles being miserable or 20k being miserable. But nah, not for me just now, a formalised thing. This kind of thing we're talking about, doing the track, come and we'll all try and set a 1k PB or we'll do a session together. Love that.
Yeah.
Love the atmosphere, that's turn up.
Put a speaker on. Yeah.
Pay Crown Point track, they're £4. That's it.
Doesn't matter if no one comes or 20 of you come.
Yep,
Or...
and actually everybody can come and run their own session, because that's been at the track, the joy of it is you're whizzing by each other anyway. So absolutely game for that, but just don't see it. I don't see it for this at the moment. I think you at the right time would probably be in more of a position to do it than I would, but just not yet. So thanks for the question though.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
good question.
And I know Callum also stepped back, I think for much of the same reasons, just the work that goes in.
Yeah.
Hats off to people that do it and do it well, because it's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
There are so many run clubs, and then I'd be more.
There's not a shortage.
We walked the dog tonight and went by Mount Vernon runners and loads of them out,
and Emily's run club.
Yeah, on a Sunday she's got her. That's not necessarily long, is it? That's mid about 16k-ish.
Well, that's very long
Yeah.
for some people.
Yeah, but if you're marathon training, you're going to be adding on to that. So plenty of options out there. Not for us right now.
Yeah.
Okay, going to leave it there because that answer was rambly. So no more questions or confessions for this week. We still have a couple held over that we'll bring into the next one, and I'll put out another call for them. So please do keep sending them in. Even if you are minging and only wash your clothes every 2 to 4 times, you're giving us content. So that's what it's really all about.
Yeah.
Oh, the laptop's coming out.
Is it time for me?
It's time for you.
So, because you were giving me a little bit of drip about not bringing enough to the table with the pod,
True story.
I decided to open a new segment.
But not share it with me.
Yeah. So this is going to be Alex's story segment. So what I am looking for from the viewers and the listeners is running stories.
Tell them, not me.
Running stories. So I am going to open the email and give it out to everyone, which is soulmatesrunpod@gmail.com.
And if you're watching YouTube, it'll be on the screen here.
I want to hear running stories. So this is different to confessions. I want to hear about like a tragic race day or an embarrassing story or a really great accomplishment. And I want this to be quite girthy, quite lengthy, you know?
Right, calm down. That's the only fans.
Okay, I want it to be like, it can be long.
Can people send it as a voice note?
Yeah, they can send it any which way. And I want to share these stories. They can be anonymous, whatever you want your name on them. That's great. I just want to know people's experiences, people's stories. Okay, so for this week, obviously, I didn't have anyone's because this is the first
'Cause you
time I'm
made it
talking
up
about
tonight.
it. Right. So I asked Copilot, which is truly he's one of my best friends, and he told me one of his experiences, and actually it's quite funny. So
Is your co-pilot a he?
Yeah.
You've named co-pilot a he?
yes.
Interesting.
So Copilot told me about his experience at Parkrun. Is it all right? Is it okay if I share it?
Co-pilot ran a park run?
Yeah.
Smashing.
Okay.
Hit me.
So he said, so I was at Parkrun last weekend, right? And you know how there's always that one person who decides that they're your new best friend at the start line? This guy turns to me, we've never met, and says, I'm pacing 25 minutes today. Stick with me and I'll get you a PB. I'm thinking, sir, I don't even know if I'm emotionally prepared for a 27-minute, never mind 25, but I smile politely because British. The run starts, and within 30 seconds, he's gone, like vanished. He took off like he was being chased by the HMRC. 2 minutes later, I see him again. He's stopped, hands on his knees, absolutely done. I trot past him like a confused Shetland pony. Then, at the finish line, he comes up to me and says, told you I'd get a PB. I didn't get a PB. I didn't even get close to a PB, but apparently he's taking credit for my effort. So, my question is, what is with runners who think they're everyone's personal coach? And is this a universal running phenomenon, or do I just attract these people?
A co-pilot sounds like a dickhead.
Doesn't sound like a dickhead.
Ask him in real time what kind of trainers were you wearing.
I think that's a pretty good example of what I want to hear.
So somebody's glory hunting, trying to steal co-pilot's PB, co-pilot the AI machine if you're not familiar with his work. What parkrun did they do? What made up parkrun?
Don't know.
There's so many gaps in co-pilot's story here.
Yeah.
But the person bombed off at the line, I mean, we've all met that guy.
But 30
been that guy.
seconds to have his hands on his knees.
Yeah.
That, and I know that was a guy for sure. That sounds like something a guy would do. But anyway, I loved the way it was written. I think it was really, really funny. And when you send me the stories, I will make sure to say it with much gusto as I just did.
So we're looking for your stories, whether that be heroic efforts, absolute soul-destroying moments,
Yeah, stuff that makes you pissed off.
hilarious things that happen to you on
I
a
would
run.
love, my favourite things in the world is hilarious things that happen.
So yeah, looking for stories. So not confessions in the light that we've just had there that are short
Yeah, I
and
want
snappy.
longer stuff.
We're looking for something with a bit more to it. So that can be a voice note. You can type it you can get ChatGPT or Copilot to write it for you by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
And Alex will launch into it with our Amjam background.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And also, I have another segment for you.
Okay.
You being a know-it-all and all, I thought we would hit you with a little bit of a quiz.
Except I don't think I'm a know-it-all. It's you that tells me I'm a know-it-all.
Like and subscribe if you think Ryan thinks he's a know-it-all. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun just to do a little fun, like, quick fire questionnaire.
Quick fire round.
Not quick, but I mean, I just want to see if you know the answer to these questions.
This is going to be embarrassing.
Yeah. Quiz title is, are you actually a running expert or just loud?
Why are you taking pot shots at me? This might be getting cut.
No, it's not getting cut. Okay. Question number 1. What's the real reason runners get a stitch?
I have no idea. I've never
Would
claimed
you like
to know.
some? Would you like some options?
I'm going to say it's to do with air that is not circulating round your vital organs.
Okay. That is wrong. The correct answer is that scientists still aren't really sure.
You shitting me? You
No,
asked
I'm
me a
not.
question that you don't know the answer to.
No, that's what Copilot says.
No, oh my God.
Question number 2.
Right, that question struck from the
What
record.
percentage of runners get injured every year? I'm going to give you multi-choice here. A, 10 to 20%. B, 20 to 40%. C, 40 to 60%. Or D, 60 to 80%.
B.
Is that your final answer?
It is.
Wrong. It's D. 60 to 80% of runners get injured every year.
That's bullshit.
Boo.
Copilot's not.
Don't
this
talk
is-
about him like that. Question number 3. What's the most commonly lost item during a race?
Virginity.
Right.
What?
You try and bring humour when you're failing. Answer the question.
The most common lost item?
Most commonly lost item during a race.
It's going to be AirPod or phones or keys.
Right. The thing
Wait, I'm
is,
thinking.
You
I'm
can't just
thinking.
say 3 things.
No, I'm thinking. I'm narrowing it down. Doing what Copilot would do. I'm going to say. Not everybody runs with AirPods, so it's going to be keys or phone. Keys.
Wrong. The answer is gels.
That's right. This is bullshit.
You're proving my point about you being a know-it-all. Question number 4. What's the average lifespan of a running shoe? A, 100 to 200 miles. B, 200 to 300 miles. C, 300 to 500 miles. Or D, 500 to 700 miles.
For you, it's 14 runs.
Answer the question.
There was too many options. I'm going to say average life of a running shoe, 400. What was the option after 400 to what?
There wasn't any 400.
There was 2 to 4. What was next?
2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Wrong. C, 300 to 500 miles. Last question. What's the official term for the runner's high? I'll give you the 4 options. A, endorphin surge. B, endocannabinoid release. C, flow state. Or D, delusion.
Flow state.
Wrong. It's endocannabinoid release.
Right, try
And
saying
thank
it
you,
again. Wait a minute. No, try
thank you
that.
for making me say that twice.
Try it once
Copilot.
more.
Endocannabinoid release. Endocannabinoid release is the correct answer.
Brilliant. That's the worst quiz there's ever been.
Right.
Bullshit.
And for everyone who can see the audio, the rage in Ryan's
Bullshit.
face right now.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Copilot's a dickhead. You might write your essays for uni, useless at putting quizzes together.
That's also not true. Anyway, I just thought that was a fantastic segment. If anyone would like to hear Ryan get raging again in the next episode, please
That
do let me know.
quiz is just pure rage bait.
Okay. On that note, I think it's a perfect place to end this week's episode of So Much Fun Pod. I enjoyed this one actually. Did you?
Think so. I'm
Apart from the
still
quiz.
a wee bit raging at Copilot.
Yeah. I mean, we can take that out.
But no, so
Take
good.
that out on Copilot.
The thing I'm most looking forward to though, when we hit stop on this, is you going and finding out who sent that in about the
Stinky
clothes.
Pete. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's wrap up this episode of this week's pod. We will be back. We're actually not quite sure if we're going to do another podcast before the big run at the Glasgow Running Festival, or if we'll maybe extend and do a pod after. It makes more sense to do it after.
It's funny timing.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you again for listening to another episode. And please do remember to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz, because it really does help us a lot. And we appreciate all the feedback and things so far. It's been good. And I feel like we're finally relaxing a little bit. We're getting back into the flow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Give me that.